One Question is brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996.
So let's start with the question of culture change, and I'm curious of your perspective on, you leave a department at Washington where you'd been there a number of years and created the culture you wanted within the athletic department and the programs as a whole, and now you're transitioning to College Station, and I assume you want to do that same thing long term, but how do you take into account the culture that's already there and integrate that with the culture you want to build?
What you do first and foremost is understand your environment and understand that College Station is a lot different than Seattle, that's a lot different than Baton Rouge. And you have to understand not only that you're in a different environment, but you're in a different culture. And once you do that, you take your time doing that. You do that with proper assessment, and it's not one size fits all. It's a situation of getting to know and understand traditions and getting to understand what people are doing right and things that you would like to change. And once you do that, while understanding your environment, I think you're very safe in running things the way you like to run them.
You mentioned figuring out what's going right and what you want to change, and we hear quite a bit in the industry about new ADs and them sitting and chatting with literally every person who works in the department. How do you structure those conversations? Is there a standard set of questions that you want feedback on? How do you draw those two things out of people when you're learning about the culture?
Yeah, I don't do it systematically. What I do is that I talk to a lot of people. I've talked to all of our head coaches. I've talked to all of our senior staff, and I'm getting down to the layers where I'm talking to a lot of different people, as well as stakeholders. Obviously, our student athletes, our donors, our season ticket holders, and then, most importantly, who you work for. You talk to your president, your chancellor, in our case, and the board members, and you evaluate and you see really what's going on and what you think's happening from what's happening right to what's happening that you think you need to correct.
And that's today's One Question, brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996. One Question is designed to give D1 Ticker subscribers valuable insights on how executive leaders in college athletics think about key issues on their respective campuses, in their departments, or within their leagues and conferences. One Question is brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996.